Balcony TV.
Hello, welcome to Balcony TV Zurich today with Jen Dale. Hello, Jen.
Hi, Tanya.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Nice that you're here. Tell me, what song are you going to play for us?
I will be playing On My Way.
On Your Way. I want to hear that. On My Way. On Your Way. Please take it away.
Thank you. It's been a while since I got to kiss your lips. Not sure how I made it yet. 1,000 miles away, I have left my heart. No use, all I can think about is you. It is crazy how much your mind can fool your thoughts when hope is strong enough. You believe so much until it is real, but it's hard to touch a thought. I'm on my way to you. Nothing can stop me. Love makes a fool. I'm on my way to you. Riding on a cloud closer to you. It's been a while since I got to feel your heart beating up against mine. Takes me to a place I've never been. With you, all I can think about is truth. It is crazy how much your mind can fool your thoughts when hope is strong enough. You believe so much until it is real, but it's hard to touch a thought. I'm on my way to you. Nothing can stop me. Love makes a fool. I'm on my way to you. Riding on a cloud closer to you. Love is all I need to live. You are all I need. You let me breathe. I'm on my way to you. Nothing can stop me. Love makes a fool. I'm on my way to you. Riding on a cloud closer to you.
Yay! Wow! Thank you so much, Jen.
Thank you.
Wow, so where does the way take you? What's the inspiration for the song?
The inspiration for the song was love, first of all, and then
One
second.
can hear that.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I guess, but I think it was love. Love can be different types of love. I mean, it was first of all for a person, and second of all for music. At that point in time when I wrote the song, I think there's always sort of a moment before you dare to do something where you're not quite sure whether you should or you shouldn't in any type of love for something or someone, and that's where I was at the point when I wrote this song. So yeah, it was basically all about on my way
Somewhere.
to music and to someone.
And you had doubts on your way to music.
Not doubts for the music, but doubts whether, I think every artist has that in some way. Like, am I good enough? Am I progressing the way I should? Every other day there's this feeling, what the heck am I doing? Sort of, the insecurities, I think, that come along with your passion being your job. Sort of trying to keep the balance of being happy about it without sort of it becoming too much of a business. because that's why you started in the first place. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. And then I think this is a song from your new EP, right? 884?
yes, exactly.
So, and it's very special because it's a trilogy, and the first EP was released, JIMI OTIS BACON EGGS.
Yes, exactly.
Was released last year, and now the new EP, the 884. What random names, or can you tell me more about the project?
Yes, the JIMI OTIS BACON and Eggs was a homage to my home and the way I grew up. We released that last summer, and it was very much sort of inspired by the first music I heard, and that was at home. So I had a very loving home and sort of way of growing up. So every Sunday, my dad would wake us with music if we wouldn't get up. I mean, it sounds more romantic than it was. I mean, he would put like, you know, All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. It wasn't that romantic. And and then we'd have, you know, breakfast together. That was sort of, because they were both working 200%. So the meals we had together was sort of our time together. So, and my dad would make bacon and eggs, or my mum, because my dad's English.
That sounds so nice.
It's a cute little cliche.
Wow. So we get to know you through the titles of your albums, if we like ask behind the story. So 884, what about that random name?
884 is my birthday and year, or my birth month and year, because that was sort of the trilogy is sort of a travel or trip journey through my musical inspirations, and which I think, or I should say, a journey through my musical development. And I think everybody in some ways influenced by great music and great artists. And so the second one for me was definitely inspired by, you know, my teenage years, also the first times where you're insecure a little bit, but also excited about certain things. And that to me very much was the soundtrack to that sort of time, was Whitney Houston, you know, Chaka Khan, Bobby Brown, Prince, David Bowie, all sort of these.
Prince.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Big loss. But but the nice thing is they all continue living in us and in our music. So, yeah.
Nice. So you get inspired through many ways and many person, and you learn also, I'm sure, because I've read that you worked with really nice producers that worked with well-known people such as Beyonce, I don't know, Stevie Wonder, Nas, J.Blige. What could you take from them, and how was the experience?
I think the biggest thing I could take from them, or the biggest lesson I learned from them, is just to love what you do and don't let anything mess that up for you, because that's how you end up just staying the sweet person you hopefully were in the beginning. And yeah, I think the nice thing with them was they're just so good and so professional, you know. I mean, there's a reason they've worked with these people, so they're just so reliable and so quick and sweet to work with. And it just makes me think, like, whenever I meet arrogant musicians who haven't really gotten anywhere, I'm like, you have no idea, like, you should just adjust your attitude. But anyway, so it was really nice to work with them. I mean, obviously in the beginning I was really nervous, but they quickly take that from you. Yeah.
Wow. Was that during the time you lived in New York? You also studied there. Was it from there, or?
Yeah, I met the two producers I worked on my EP, on my first EP that we released in 2011 in New York, were Sherrod Barnes and Sherrod Barnes, and I met them because I just sang at a open mic that my friend from Zurich actually told me about at the Village Underground, and Sherrod was the guitarist in the house band, and he sort of came after me after it was over, and he asked me if I had anybody to work with already, and he would like to work with me. And yeah, and the funny story with that was, like, 2 weeks later he tried to Skype me, and I was asking him where he was, and he's like, oh, I'm on tour. And I'm like, oh, who are you on tour with? And he's like, oh, Whitney. I'm like, Whitney who? And he said, Whitney Houston. And I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? So yeah, I mean, all of that was extremely overwhelming, but I think that's what you need to kind of drive you also to, you know, the competition is definitely a big driving point.
Wow, sounds nice. So New York, grew up in Switzerland as well, and now living somehow in Berlin. Many influences, many travels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think especially the places influence the music I make or write at the time. So a lot of people have been asking me now with the release of the second EP, sonically it's so different. It's a lot more synthesizer, a lot more 80s influence, whereas the first one was so live and Motown influenced. That a lot of, you know, radios especially, they're like, what happened? Why are you doing electro now? I'm like, actually, it's not electro. It's like Whitney Houston. They say it's like Whitney Houston. I'm like, but Whitney Houston isn't really electro. But having said that, I mean, I live in Berlin, so I've learned to appreciate, you know, the electronic sounds more than I used to. And I'm sure that infiltrates music as well that you create.
Nice. And what about the third part of the trilogy? Where is that going?
Sonically, it's a bit undefined yet, but it's definitely gonna hopefully gel more and be sort of where I actually want to go in the future as well. It'll always be soulful, because I just believe that if you make music that you love and you like the feeling of, it'll be soulful. And that's going to be released next spring.
Okay.
I'm thinking of making an album out of it, because I think it's time. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm still working with the same producer now, with Brad Allen Williams, that I've done the first two parts with. So yeah.
Cool. So we're looking forward to that, to the trilogy, to the last part. But so until then, we can enjoy the first two parts, and you can check her out online. And yeah, we see all the tour dates and everything.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being here, Jen.
Thank you, Tanya, for having me.
Thank you. See you next time. Bye.
BalconyTV.